Hello? Hello? Okay, strafing mission P-40 today. Let's get started. First, aileron into trims into climb configuration. Climb settings. Engine start. Pretty usual target for me, 1813. Very boring. The same targets, the server, unfortunately. But what can you do? No more P-40 convoy, vehicle convoy strafing gameplay in this game available. Now I'm here on this parking place. I'm gonna start taxiing to the western side of the airfield, then take off, heading is gonna be 095. Then I do formation pattern and then route flying to this target. I don't need any drawings because I remember that route probably even without a map. I'm gonna be able to handle that. Let's hope there is no turbulence. Let's hope that's good weather. It's pretty hot, 27 degrees centigrade. Wind is not so strong. Let's count our meters. 140. Yes. Stupid idiots who did that. Okay, we got 1,500 meters. Okay, and then okay, let's calculate. Now I'm calculating my wind shift corrections, adjustment. I'm gonna need to start third left 90 degree turn 17 seconds earlier, and second left 90 degree turn 19 degrees later. Okay, that's good for me. Now start taxiing. Start taxiing part is 15. I increase engine power over 1500 RPM. Manifold pressure gauge isn't working on such low power, and then about 13, a little bit less than 1300 feet is normal taxiing settings. I haven't tried P-40 about 2 weeks, so I expect some errors. Let's wait and see. But the most important thing, I hope we're not gonna have turbulence, because turbulences, this game is really painful, unpleasant. On the other hand, I love balanced, stabilized, straight and level flight. This airplane is gorgeous, very convenient, very nice. I need to adjust a little bit. It's too hot. Air is too hot. It's not realistic because it's still early in the morning. It's 6:35 a.m. In Stalingrad plains. It's gonna be very cold, actually, even in the middle of the summer. So early in the morning it's gonna be cold, so that's not realistic, but anyway, what can you do? It is what it is. 27 degrees centigrade, very hot, so any engine power is reduced because of that. That's why I need to adjust, increase a little bit manifold, not manifold pressure but RPMs, because manifold pressure gauges not functional on such low power settings. I'm okay with my S turning while taxiing. No errors yet, no circles, no circle attempts. Unfortunately, this airfield's got very short runway, taxi run, takeoff runway. I'm gonna need to extend that a little bit. I'm gonna start my start point is gonna be not on the edge of the runway but about 100 meters to the west of that edge. This game allows that. That's also not realistic, but what can you do? I usually let my P-40 accelerate until that my airspeed is 130 miles per hour indicated, and then I gently pull up and then I perform transition into stabilized climbing settings. Okay, Stalingrad map airfields are the most convenient, the most pleasant for me for taxiing, much better than any other surfaces. Those gravel, grass, sandy surfaces, they good. Asphalt tarmac is a little bit worse. Concrete, not convenient, very narrow taxi runways, taxiways. So the flight plan is gonna be takeoff, formation pattern, route flying on 1 kilometer altitude, that's about 3,000 feet. Then entering attack area, then AAA suppression pattern. I hope I'm gonna suppress those two flak units on that vehicle column, and then circle strafing pattern with my machine guns, 50 caliber of machine guns. I'm gonna strafe trucks and maybe half trucks, Hanumak half trucks. Then route flying, returning to base, then overhead brake pattern, and then landing and taxiing back to my parking. That's the plan. I'm gonna try to perform everything well, not to be shot, not to make any mistakes, not to hit the tree. That historical HAW training server is quite unique because it's almost always P-40 available on it. It has 4 hours mission time. That's very good. It could be more if 6 hours could be better. 20 hours like on great server Clash of Eagles would be much better, but 4 hours still not too bad. And this server's got very interesting ground targets. Finnish server is I like Finnish, but almost always turbulence and no vehicle columns. That's unacceptable for me, quite boring, I must say. No P-40 on other servers. So I gonna miss that historical HAW server, training server, when they gonna shut it down. Okay, canopy closed. Let's pick up our timing. Now it's 6:41. I gonna start 6:43. I gonna start taxiing on my start point 6:42 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds till start taxiing on my start position. Ten seconds. It's 30 seconds now when I start moving and turning 90 degree left. My takeoff heading is gonna be 095. Okay, that part I performed quite well. Plus minus 5 degree, I give that margin to me. And take off. Gently, slowly increasing manifold pressure, 39.5 inches. Before they start and accelerate. While I'm gaining airspeed, manifold pressure increases itself. Now I'm waiting till 130 miles per hour indicated, and then I gently pull up, Technochat on, pull up, gear up, RPM down, Okay, 150 miles per hour, throttle back, I'm stabilized. Throttle up a bit. It was 300 feet airfield altitude itself, so I need to climb about 700 feet. I lost 5 degrees of heading, that's unacceptable, that's my mistake. Okay, transitioning into straight and level flight, minus 10% elevator trim, RPM down to 43%, switching, adjusting rudder trim, a little bit more down elevator trim. I'm waiting till she's gonna pitch up, nose pitching up, and I reducing elevator trim. She's pitching up and I set 40%. Now I don't need technichat anymore. I'm gonna wait till she's pitch up and then I throttle back on about 19.5 inches power seconds. She's more or less stabilized in straight and level flight. She's gonna maintain heading, maintain zero vertical speed, and maintain constant airspeed. I'm gonna adjust a little bit power settings, just a little bit, and control my heading. Uh, 5 minutes after start time I gonna perform first left 90-degree turn. That's gonna be 48 minutes. Now it's 46. And then second left 90-degree turn I need to start 2 minutes later, but I need to adjust my wind shifting. I need to make some corrections. According to my calculations, I need to delay that second left turn about 19 seconds. Okay, that's 13 seconds till left turn. Okay, she's quite stabilized. Heading is okay. And I start turning. A little bit excessive power, some extra manifold pressure, 2-3 inches, and pulling up a bit because she's gonna pitch down her nose. Because of that extra power I have accelerated a bit, so now she's stable, and 30 degrees until my desired heading. I throttle back and pull up a bit. 005 is my heading. Okay. If you do everything right, when you level up, you're gonna have your airplane stabilized, steady, without pitching up nose, pitching down, without too much vertical speed woes. Well, she's quite stable. Now, next 0 seconds I should start my second left turn, but I need to make corrections, so I'm gonna start it not 0 seconds but 19 seconds. That's gonna help me to adjust to the wind shift. Okay, 10 seconds still. Pulling up, turning. Put a little bit back, that's too much. Pull up a bit. I need to maintain 0 vertical speed. I need to prevent pitching up nose or pitching down nose. My new heading is gonna be 275. It's about 30 degrees until my desired heading. So I throttle back, nose up a bit, watch my 15-degree bank angle and level up. Small heading correction, that's okay. This formation pattern has got it allows to form up group of several airplanes which gonna take off with 30 seconds intervals and start the first and second left turns 15 degrees earlier than leader. And after completing second left turn, whole group is gonna be formed up without long distances. Okay, my third left turn is gonna be 13 minutes after my start time. My start time was 43 minutes plus 13 minutes, that's gonna be 56. And I remember I did my left turn 19 seconds later, and to correct wind shifting according to my calculations, I need to make third turn 17 seconds earlier. So that means 56 minutes 2 seconds I start my third left 90 degrees turn. And then when I finish my fourth left 90 degrees turn, I gonna see airstrip right on my 12 o'clock. That's gonna be indication of right wind shift corrections I've made. Let's wait and see. Maybe I've done some mistakes. Maybe I miscalculated something. You can see heading is 275 exactly. P-40 is very convenient. She's maintaining heading while being well trimmed and stabilized. For stabilized settings you need to pick up combination of power and elevator trim settings. I know that combination. It's very convenient to know that. And being stabilized P-40 is very convenient. She's maintaining heading sometimes 40 seconds, 50 seconds, minute and a half, sometimes over 2 minutes. I do not touch controls at all, and she is maintaining heading and 0 vertical speed, not even plus minus 1 degree heading deviations. For example, A20 bomber, I love it, but some reason, maybe because of wing structure, A20 is not so stable. She's losing her heading very violently. So you need much more attention to pay. I've got 5 seconds till third left turn, so you need much more attention to pay while piloting A20 on stabilized settings to maintain your heading. And that arcade unrealistic auto level button I don't use at all. Throttle back a bit. You know what? I think I got a big mistake. I needed to I already that was a mistake. I made that third left turn too early. That was a mistake. I needed to that's my inexperience. That's not the end of the world, but I must say that was my mistake. I needed to start that third left turn later, 17 seconds later, and I started that 17 seconds earlier. So what I can say, I probably gonna be too close to airstrip, but still, when I finish my fourth left turn, airstrip should be on my 12 o'clock. I see it. That's gonna be the case, I think. Maybe very small error, left-right error I gonna have. Yes, I can see the strip already. And 2 seconds I need to start my fourth left turn. I'm too close. That's okay. That's you. If you watch it, you're probably not gonna see the difference. But I know usually when I done with my fourth left 90-degree turn, I am quite far from runway edge. Now I'm too close, but still you can see I'm almost perfectly to the point. That's because of that wind shift adjustment I've made. That's a small practice for wind shift adjustment. Of course, you need all navigator's instruments, normal chart, not that joke they made for us in this game. Okay, my route is gonna be to the south. Now I need to start my right 90-degree turn. New heading 180. I've lost altitude a bit. That's my mistake. .15-degree bank angle. Standard turning while route flying. In a combat situation I use 45-degree standard bank angle. After completing this turn I'm gonna perform transition into climbing settings. 180 heading. Transition into climbing settings. Technochat on. First step plus 5% elevator trim. Second step RPM up. Elevator trim neutral. Adjusting rudder trim and waiting until she's pitching nose down, and 5% more and 5% more elevator trim, waiting until she's pitching nose down, and 5% more, adjusting heading 5% more and 5% more, technochat off, throttle up, open throttle, 26.5, 27 inches, she's gonna be stabilized. 150 miles per hour indicated, that's my airspeed. Vertical speed is too high, but little bit instability is okay. You're never gonna get ideal transition part, transition element or segment, but still you can see she is stabilized. No pitching up, pitching nose up, no pitching nose down. Vertical speed gauge is not moving. Vertical speed indicator is steady. Now I'm losing vertical speed, I need to adjust manifold pressure, it's too hot, I need more inches to perform power unit, power, normal climbing power. My goal is to climb stabilized, so I need less attention on my heading, maintaining 180 heading, and such a way of climbing is very convenient for formation flying. My whole mission program contains such parts, such details, such techniques which convenient for formation flying, not only close formation but spread abreast formation, side spread formation, for large airplane numbers. Okay, I must correct my rudder trim a bit. Still she is not stabilized. I guess that's because of HAW. Okay, that's 300 feet. I need to transition into straightened level. Minus 10%. RPM down 43%. Adjusting rudder trim. Adjusting aileron minus 5%. She's pitching up. Small corrections, heading correction minus 5%. Wait until she is pitching nose up, and then minus 5%. She's pitching minus 5%. Okay, she's pitching up minus 5%. Techno-chat off. When she's gonna pitch nose up, once again I gonna reduce manifold pressure, and that's gonna be straightened level flight stabilized. She's gonna need some time to stabilize ideally. So I expect some waves, some altitude gain or some loss of altitude. Then I need to pick up my manifold pressure settings. Let's make it 20.5 inches. Let's make it. In case I need to correct that, I'm gonna turn on, open a bit radiator flaps. That's gonna help me to change my airspeed a bit, because I will not be able to change manifold pressure on 0.2, 0.3 manifold pressure. It's too small amount, but you can help yourself with radiator cowl flaps. Now let's watch map and see where we are. That town, that village is gonna be Kaktenka probably, yes, and that's Vasilievka. Exactly. T-junction crossroad, here it is. Wait, I've lost 4 degrees of heading, that's unacceptable, that's my mistake. Let's make heading correction. She's stabilized. Look at that vertical speed gauge, almost stationary, doesn't move at all. So now I am somewhere 1822.8, somewhere there. Aksai town is gonna be on my 12 o'clock, and After Aksai I need to turn right 90 degrees right turn on new heading 270. Okay, that's Aksai ahead of us on 11, and this airfield is a very good terrain feature, landmark. Where is it? Oh, I can see that airfield. This game is great. All airfields are produced realistically. They've got realistic shapes and forms. That's very good. So you can find yourself on the map easily. The weather is fine, visibility is fine. I just need to make some heading corrections, and my P-40 is almost perfectly stabilized. Look at that altitude. I would say my power setting is a bit less that I need. I'm not able to make such tiny corrections. If I would need to maintain that heading for a long time, I would make some outlet call shutters corrections, but soon I gonna perform right turn, and then on the next heading 270 heading my power settings might be okay, so no need to adjust right now. But anyway, my stabilized settings are okay. My flight altitude is almost ideal. That's great for formation flying. Okay, let's turn right. Extra power. 15-degree bank angle. Pulling up a bit. Not letting her pitch her nose down. And while I'm gaining airspeed because of extra power, she's not gonna pitch nose down. She's gonna be stabilized in a 15 degrees bank right turn. And throttle back, pull up a bit, because I don't need excessive airspeed when I level up. I need exactly the same airspeed I had before turning. I level up, and she's stabilized. A little bit nose pitching up, that's because of a little bit excessive airspeed. You can prevent her from gaining altitude by pushing stick off you. Now let's check where we are. That's that T-junction and bridge and river junction. Here it is, 1921. Heading check, okay. 270, ideal. So, if I see this, I'm in 1921.1. So next I'm gonna see Zhutova on my 2 or on my 1 o'clock or on my 2 o'clock. There is an airfield of different shape and form. There is a railroad bridge and railroad station. I've lost 2 degrees of heading. That's my mistake. I need to maintain heading plus minus 1 degree. That's also skill you need for formation flying. Sometimes you watch someone's streaming, like they fly formation, and you see one guy is able to maintain heading and another guy isn't able at all, plus minus 15, 25 degrees. That's all very inconvenient, very hard for wingmen to maintain close formation. Even spread formation is very hard. Spread formation is worst actually. For spread formation you need to maintain your heading, you need to know how to perform turning with maintaining that formation. That's a special technique, not very complicated, but still you need to have a skill. Okay, that's Zhutova. One railroad station and another railroad station and railroad turning, S-turning, which I probably gonna be able to see underneath me or not. No, I have already passed that area. So next terrain feature is that large forest and Generalovsky town. Large forest I can see on my 1 o'clock. Oh, that S turning I can see right now. So Zhutova is over there. I can see one railroad station and another railroad station minus 1 degree of heading. I can see it. I turn right a bit, so I give her a little bit banking angle, 2 or 3 degrees, and then returning back to 0 bank angle. So it's 270 right now. Just as I said. And that second station, very good terrain feature, landmark object. That second railway station in 1919.1 I can see right now underneath my right wing. So just imagine if we had heavy clouds, low clouds, those terrain features, those bridges, towns, stations, small forests, crossroads, river junctions, those all objects which gonna help you to know where you are for navigation. And this is Chilekov town or village. You can check it with that village shape and form, with roads layout next to that village or inside that village. and you can check out where you are. So that route flying isn't boring at all. No auto level, that's arcade, that's unrealistic. Airplane is stabilized, this game is perfect. The only thing you need to watch your TechnoChat settings, because for such elements, such technique, you need precise settings. So those guys who against TechnoChat, almost all of them, they use auto level that heading indicator. I don't use it, I don't use auto level, but just try to ask them to switch TechnoChat on. They gonna laugh at you and hate you and say a lot of disrespectful words. Yesterday I watched some epic video about formation flying. I'm not arguing, but I didn't see any close formation, any technique. Maybe people want to think they've got some great epic flying, but there wasn't any. My P-40 is perfectly stabilized, perfectly. That 20.5, 20.55 a bit manifold pressure gives me, oh no, you can see that vertical speed indicator is moving a bit, so I'm losing altitude a bit. I'm gonna deal with that by shutting my cowl flaps a bit. There you can see those flaps. %, I shut it, so now you're gonna see I've lost 3 degrees of heading. That's unacceptable, that's my mistake. I need to watch it. And now she's gonna stop losing altitude. And I forgot to say, thanks God, there were no turbulence. That's why I love historical HAW Training Server. I do not use historical HAW main, not only because there is no TechnoChat, but because there is no any normal or available or acceptable for me group flying. So I really hate how people fly on historical HAW main server. No formation, no maintaining formation. Everybody use combat power settings on a route flying. Unrealistic tactics, unrealistic gameplay. I really hate that. Now let's see where we are. That airfield. Oh, is it Safronov airfield? Yes, that's Nizhny Yablonny and Safronov airfield. So I probably gonna be 2016.7. for now. And I've lost 4 degrees heading. I switched my rudder trim to the right a bit. Still I'm losing altitude. And let's see, though, that river junction, Don River and Aksai River junction, I can see almost on my 12 o'clock. There should be a bridge. Yes, there is a bridge over here. That's the bridge in 1915.1. So I can say this is my route pass. That's ideal for me, because at this point, when I got Komarov on my 1 or 2 o'clock close, I gonna turn on heading, let's say 330. I gonna switch to combat mode, and by heading 330, by moving heading 330, I gonna get to my AAA attack initial point. It's gonna be somewhere there. Then I gonna brake right and do my Strafing AAA suppressive pattern, which isn't good for me. I need more practice. I do mistakes on it. I probably gonna be shot. I can hit the tree. That's danger I expect, that risk I expect, but I gonna try to avoid that complications just to perform my mission, all parts of my mission, all stages of my mission. Okay, those 2 small ponds over there, lakes over there, I can see them on my 11 o'clock, so my assumption was quite right. I am somewhere there. That's very important for attack initial target approach way, just like landing approach is important for good landing. Approach for attack initial point is also very important. You need to see the target. You need to know where you are. You need to maintain the right altitude and right heading. That's all very important for performing a good attack maneuver. And when you perform well, that's crucial for your survivability. To survive, when you're surviving, you're efficient. That's a good gaming. When you receiving hits, you've got shots. When they shoot you down, that's a bad gaming. Okay, I can see that Komarov a little bit waiting. I'm not able to see that vehicle column, but this game has got its own disadvantages. Probably that all column hasn't appeared yet. It appears when you're close to it. That's a very bad feature of this IL-2 Great Battles. Very bad feature. But what can you do? I hate that expression. It is what it is, but it is what it is. what can you do with that? Okay, right turn, 60-degree turn on new heading 330, extra power. I'm probably too late on my right turn. Let's wait and see, but who knows, maybe I'm okay. Altitude is okay. I need 3,000 feet, 3,000 feet above the target to gain airspeed for survival. Oh, I'm too far. I'm too far. But anyway, switching to combat mode. RPM up. Radiator 3/4 open. Manifold pressure up 30 degrees. Elevator trim down a bit. Okay, I'm okay. Brake right. My target's gonna be somewhere. Oh no! I actually was okay. I was okay. I wasn't too early or too late on my turning. Oh, I'm quite okay. I would say that was ideal approach. Braking right. Okay, let's hope I'm gonna suppress those flak units without being hit. That's gonna be very hard. Because I'm alone, you need to do that at least 3 or 4 airplanes. Nice hit. I hope I damaged that flak unit, but that wasn't a good approach at all. Wasn't a good strafing pass at all. Evasive maneuvering. Evasive maneuvering on a deck. I've got quite flat surface here. That's very convenient. Let's see. Oh, thanks God I have damaged that. Now I'm gonna perform. Let's adjust our manifold pressure on 30 inches. I'm gonna perform combat formation, combat rejoin pattern. Combat rejoin pattern consists of two 180 turns with 45-degree bank angle and straight and level flying between them about 30 seconds. This rejoin or formation pattern is much better than circling like other guys doing. They took off and wait in a circle until the wingman gonna rejoin. That's bad, that's wrong, guys. For those who watching, who listening, don't do that. You need to add to that pattern straight and level flying 30 seconds straight and level forgot that how you say it. Stints, yes. And next 330 I'm gonna switch to climbing altitude. That's very hard to explain. I will not explain that, just perform that. Okay, 15 inches. Setting my radar trim. Okay. Losing speed a bit. And turning left. While completing that left turn on heading 150, I'm gonna pull up, and on airspeed indicated 150 miles per hour, my airplane is gonna be stabilized. I'm gonna add power. Okay, stabilized. Add power a little bit. She's stabilized. That's very convenient to get to attack pattern initial point once again. And that technique allows you to rejoin group of 4-6 airplanes to form up a new close formation or spread abreast formation to be ready for enemy fighter attack, and to start that new attack pattern with whole group simultaneously, just like you want that. Okay, I'm gonna climb until 1600 feet. That's gonna be 1500 feet above target, and then I'm gonna start right 15 degrees bank angle turn. Adjust a bit. Manifold pressure. She's stabilized. That's very good to have some rest, to recharge your batteries psychologically after dangerous, risky AAA suppressive pattern. Okay, right turn, commence, start. Extra power, nose up a bit, not letting her pitch down her nose. That's stabilized, right climbing 15 degrees, turning. Perfect. My mission program contains quite sophisticated techniques and parts, segments, so I'm sorry I'm not able to explain all of those. On heading 330, I'm performing 180 degree right turn. On new heading 330, I'm gonna level up and switch to combat mode once again. So that switching is gonna be very minor. I'm gonna add power a bit and adjust my elevator trim settings a bit techno chat on. 330. 330 level up, nose down. I set my elevator trim on 1/4 and on 62% rudder trim. Okay, I'm okay. I'm ready for the next strafing pass. AAA suppression strafing pass. It's very good weather. I can see the road. I'm not able to see my target, but I know road is quite straight. Once again, right brake and combat AAA unit strafing pass approach. Strafing run approach. That P-40 has got almost perfect armament with a player with not very strong gunnery skills. Most players got not weak but not very strong gunnery skills. So those 6 50 caliber machine guns, they do quite well regardless of your mistakes and errors. Okay, I'm losing altitude. Then I'm gonna turn left. Once again, while watching somebody stream, they always attack flak units head to head. Such a low quality, low skills. How can you attack flak units head to head? That's absolutely... I hit it. Let's wait and see if it's damaged or not. I do evasive maneuvering anyway, because not doing that's gonna cost you a lot. So those maneuverings gonna be sheer and violent. Whatever energy you've got, you're gonna bleed that energy while maneuvering, because you need to make evasive maneuvers, not letting those flak to hit you. Thanks God, I've got that. Okay, let's not waste any time. Adjust 30 inches, and now I'm gonna get to my normal strafing initial point, my base point. That's gonna be last vehicle in that convoy, and I gonna need to fly over that vehicle heading 330, and I'm gonna start circling. I can see the target. I've got visual. I need to pick up right timing for left turn. Okay, left turn commence, 45-degree bank angle. Switch a bit. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna do such called shifting on 3/4. That's 330 is my base heading, and that vehicle, that truck, is my base point. 1 quarter heading is gonna be 240. 2 quarters heading is gonna be 150, and 3 quarters heading is gonna be 060. So by my experience I can say, because of turning, my airspeed is reducing now. So to maintain that base point I need to switch about 2 seconds on 3 quarters. Let's check that out. On 3 quarters on heading 060 I'm gonna level up and fly straight and level about 2 seconds. Okay. Then I'm gonna fly over that vehicle. Oh no, that was a mistake. I did something wrong. Okay, that's no worries. I'm gonna make 1 second shift on 1 quarter. 1 quarter is 240 heading. I watch it. 240. 2 heading indicators I've got. 2 seconds and maintaining left turn. So now I am adjusting my base point. Base is a point you fly above when you've got base heading 330. That's also technique very useful for group strafing in a circle pattern. When you strafe alone, you got 8 pattern strafing or circle strafing. I'm okay with my base point, so next circle is gonna be with firing. So that's gonna be firing circle. I use the same firing circle profile with underturning 135 degree. I gonna start climbing. So 330 plus 133 is 105 heading by my calculation. So 105 I gonna start climbing. Let's check that out. Then I'm gonna climb 105, climbing. Watch our vertical speed to be not more than 3000 feet per minute. Trim down, trim up, trim up, trim up. And target altitude was 200 feet. So 1200 feet I start 45 degree bank angle and adjusting my trim like that. Full up and 1 circle down. I don't need Technochart for that. Watching my airspeed to be not less than 140 miles per hour indicated, and then I gently pull back. That first circle I had insufficient airspeed, so this circle is bad. I'm not gonna fire this circle. Second circle is gonna be good, and what I can say, I need to switch a bit. I need to make 1 quarter shifting once again. That's gonna be a short shift on 1 quarter. I'm heading 240. Short shift commence. proceed with left turning. And once again, on heading 105, I track heading on this indicator and on this. I gonna on heading 105, I gonna level up and start climbing. Then I gonna trim down not to excess 3000 feet per minute vertical speed indicated. Trim up, and wait until altitude is my target altitude plus 1000 feet. My target altitude is 200 feet, so 1200 feet. I start turning 45-degree bank angle left. Adjust trim. Watch our airspeed. It must be about 140 miles per hour, and watch our target. Our target is ahead. Okay, she's stabilized. She's climbing a bit herself. When she stops climbing, I'm gonna pull up until my airspeed is 110 miles per hour indicated, and then my strafing pass begins. What can I say? I'm gonna need to adjust a little bit more, shift a little bit more on 1/4. Fine weather, no turbulence. Good hit. Adjusting trim settings, watch our bank angle. And I'm gonna need 1 second shift on 1/4. 1/4 heading is 240. Okay, 240, 1 second shift. Proceed with left turning. Once again, wait until my heading is 210 and then level up. While leveling up, she's gonna turn a little bit right, left 5 degrees, and then I got heading 105. Watch my vertical speed, trim down, trim up, and watch my altitude. On 1200 feet I'm gonna start left climbing turn, and I'm gonna adjust my trims. Just as simple as that. Standard strafing circle. When you do it right, you've got right your strafing run initial point. Pull up a bit, watch our target. Okay, she's stabilized. Wait a couple seconds. Wait a bit more, and pull up. Pull up gently. She's losing airspeed. When it's 110, I dive. Watch my targets. Search for truck. That's the truck. Quite steep diving, but I need it to be more steeper. I'm gonna do that. Adjust an elevator trim to get my mark on the target. Quite a good hit, but one of the disadvantages of this historical HAW Training Server is very unrealistic damage settings for the targets, for the armored units, tanks, and for trucks. That Steel Sky server got realistic settings. much more interesting. So you need to get your target into convergence distance to have good hit. Trim down, trim down, trim down, trim up, watch heading, trim up. Vertical speed is okay, trim down, altitude I can see, trim up. Okay, left turn, switching, adjusting trims. I don't need techno chat while performing combat parts of my mission, because I don't need any precise and fine-tuning. When firing, I'm gonna tune that by watching my aiming mark. But on a route flying, you need that fine-tuning. Information flying, you need that. Okay, trim down. Okay, perfect. Very steep approach. I like that. Okay. Okay. Aiming mark is on target. Good hit, good hit. It should be destroyed. I have adjusted my manifold pressure. It was too much, I think. I needed to be 30 inches. Now once again watch my heading. 110 level up. She's turning 5 degree more while leveling up, and then I have 105 heading, and watch my vertical speed, vertical, and my altitude. Altitude is okay, turning left, 45 degree left turn, elevator trim adjusted. Okay, airspeed should be about 140, a little bit more than 140 miles per hour indicated. Our target is ahead, level up, she's stable. She's gaining altitude by herself. When she stops gaining, she stops pitching up. I pull up very gently, pull up very gently, and by that sequence I'm gonna get myself into the right initial point, diving point. So my strafing run's gonna be perfect. It wasn't a good hit. I think I'm gonna need to adjust some rudder trim. Oh yes, definitely. I made some adjustment. I like that strafing run because it was very steep. That's good. I consider that's very good. But I was too early on my trigger. I need to wait fraction of a second. Level up, heading 105, trim down, trim up, trim down, trim up, maintaining 2500, 3000 feet vertical speed, and turning left. Watch our trim, watch our airspeed. Watch our target. Level up. She's stable. She's gonna pitch up by herself. Once she stops pitching up, I pull up myself very gently until airspeed is 110 indicated. She stops, I pull up a little bit more, and then dive. Watch our target. I love that approach, quite steep. Let's make it okay. Nice hit. Target's destroyed. And I've got another vehicle over there. Let's make 1/4 shift, short shift. 240 heading, short shifting. That means like that. Just level up and proceed once again with left turn. You can see I'm making my left turn on a deck on a low level. That's important for survival reasons. No enemy players right now, but in combat situation you're gonna have to face the attacks on you. So to make it easier for your escort fighters and to make it harder for enemy fighters, you need to maintain invisible, stealthy. I know this game is quite unrealistic because of visual conditions or visibility in this game. So DCS, the guys who play DCS, if you're not able to see airplanes close distance, that's realistic, I think. This game you're able to see 30 kilometers, not myself, but other players set up the monitors, displays to watch, to see contacts for 30 kilometers. That's unrealistic, unacceptable. That was a bad strafing pass. I couldn't see my target for some reason. So the first strafing run wasn't good. While performing left 45 bank angle degree turn, I adjust my elevator trim to maintain 0 vertical speed. So I even don't watch TechnoChat to know the value, the percentage. I just see my airplane doesn't pitch nose up or pitch nose down. more or less maintaining zero vertical speed. Of course, that attitude, flight attitude, isn't stabilized because of very high airspeed, but that's very convenient for not watching your Technochat elevator trim settings. You just don't need that to know that value. Okay, pull up very gently. 110 miles per hour indicated, and diving for the strafing run. That strafing run is quite shallow. That was a bad hit. That was a miss. And I need to make 1 second, 1/4 second shift. Level up climbing. That's good visibility. I can see the target. Trim up, trim up, trim up. And turning left. Watch our target. Level up. She's stable. Now she's gonna pitch her nose up by herself. When she stops, I pull up and then dive. She stops pitching, I pull up. And then dive. And adjusting my elevator trim settings. Where is that track? I can see it. That's why I like steep diving. Bad hit, bad hit. Bad gunnery. Didn't destroy it. I don't dare to watch closely because I need to maintain low level altitude. Oh no, I have destroyed. So that was the P-40's armament credit, not mine, because my gunnery was very bad on that strafing run. But nevertheless, P-40 is a great airplane. It has got 37 or 38, 1938 engine version. So any airplane is not gonna be good with such low thrust to weight ratio. But if it could have a great engine, normal engine, that would be like Dudley Hill once said, Amy 109 killer. I totally agree with that. Totally agree. That's a great airplane, P-40. Great airplane. I love it. Okay. I have sequence pattern for normal, for good strafing circle. It's easy, it's convenient and effective. Okay, I'm too close. That strafing run's gonna be too steep, but that's okay. It's just an elevator trim. Aiming mark on target. Okay. Unfortunately, once again, this historical HAW Training Server and historical HAW main server has very big disadvantage, in my opinion. Damage, ground units damage characteristics is too low, so it's very easy to destroy them. That concerns even armored unit, tanks. So Steel Sky server, 72 HG training server is much better. That because you need to be really precise and good while strafing targets on those servers. And historical HAW, I must say, some, I don't know how, free hunter fighter players made the servers for themselves, not for guys who like bombing, strafing. That's very bad. So what can I say? No more truck vehicles. I need to strafe those Hanamaks. Where are they? That's one of my weaknesses. My visual assessment isn't good very often. I know there are half trucks over there, but I couldn't see them to perform a strafing run just right now. I can use a different type of firing circle, different profile of firing circle, but that would be too easy. I like such a steep diving, strafing runs. I would like to maintain with those pattern, but probably there is still one truck over there. I'm gonna destroy that last truck. Yes, I remember there were 9 trucks over there. Okay. there behind my canopy, beneath my canopy. Let's make a very shallow strafing run. Probably here, but yes, that was a truck. I couldn't see it. I saw just front right wheel and some part of engine compartment. Great, I have destroyed that truck. Let's wait. Let's trim up. Let's watch for half trucks. Where are those half trucks? Those Honomak half trucks. Good for watching, but bad for stealthy circling. Adjust trimming, trim down, trim up. Heading is okay, trim up. Trim up. That's a good mission, very successful, as I say. If you ask me, I love it. Nose up a bit. Leveling up. Okay. And pull up. Time to close. One single Hanamak I can see. No much half trucks over there. Not much half trucks over there, unfortunately. Let's make circle without firing. Or should I? No, I will not make that circle. Okay. Trim down. My visual assessment is very bad, very bad. That's a tank. Man, I'm not able to see those hammocks. Okay. Let's strafe in a different way. Okay, and the turn angle is gonna be 110. That means I think. Without controlling vertical speed. Oh, I need to make 1/4 shifting. My airspeed is too high. I need 3 seconds 1/4 shifting. On heading 240, I need to level up and fly straight and level for 3 seconds at least. Level up. 3. And on heading 070 I'm gonna climb, so I could be much closer to the target and I could see to choose my target. Gonna climb 500 feet, I think. Okay, another 1 second shift, 1/4 shift. That lower heading indicator is magnetic, and that higher to the left heading indicator is gyro indicator, I think. So magnetic is, I think magnetic has got delay, but it's more or less right indication. It has right indications. Once again, do not control our vertical speed. Watch for half track. Where is that half track? Once again, I'm not able to see it. No, I'm able to see that. Only one half track. That's too low. Let's make 110 on the turning angle heading, so it's gonna be 080 climbing heading, not 070, because I'm too close. I need to climb a little bit more. I'm too shallow. Trim, elevator trim to maintain 0 vertical speed. I don't need to know that value. When I level up, she's gonna climb just like I wanted. We're gonna climb at least 500 feet. Okay, climbing. Watching our target. Okay, that's much better, but I'm not able to see that Hanamak. Exactly, I'm not able to see that. Oh, I have destroyed that. I have destroyed that Hanamak. Okay, now I'm gonna switch. Now I'm gonna make I don't even know how to call it in English. Base heading changing maneuver. Because I would like to fly over the target. "12 seconds on 2 quarters. Okay. And then some 10 or 12 seconds on 3 quarters and 180 left degree turn. And I'm gonna watch that target. Let's check our technique. 180 degree turn. I think on new heading 240, that's gonna be my new base heading. I'm gonna be over the target, exactly over the target, and I'm gonna be able to watch closely if there are any trucks and Hanamaks. Exactly, that's working. Those trees are not good. Tank, 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 tank. No Hanamaks, no trucks. So return to base. Heading 135. Transition into standard straight and level route flying, 15 inches. RPM down, 43%, techno-chat. Cowl flaps down half, 2 quarters. Elevator trim 1% right and about 83. Okay. And now I'm start trimming. That's okay. Airspeed is okay. My standard trimming is 40%. Elevator trim up. Now stabilized straight and level flight on a deck level 0 altitude to maintain stealthy. Let's check out where we are. Next terrain features we're gonna see is Don River, Darkhanov. No, Darkhanov I wouldn't see. That road, probably that island on Don River. Manifold pressure is too high. I need to throttle back a bit. 20.4, 20.3 is might be quite good. I can see Don River or those lakes. Let's wait and see what we see. I'm a little bit higher than I need, but still good. That's a vast Stalingrad-Volgograd plains. Very convenient for low-level route flying. Very convenient. I gotta watch trees. 5 inches up. Pull up gently. My aim is to maintain airspeed constant, and that's why I make a little bit extra power, 5 inches exactly, and pull up. So she's gaining altitude, but she's not changing her airspeed. So where I am, I think I'm right on that pull up. Okay, turning left, 45-degree left turn, 15-degree bank angle. I need to find myself where I am. Don River is past that road, looking for crossroads, stations, villages, bridges, no crossroads. Check out road heading, it's 0180 heading, no any T-junction, crossroads. I probably somewhere over there. Нижний Яблочный is gonna be on my 12 o'clock, I guess, I assume. Let's check out my assumption. But first, let's stabilize. I've got excessive airspeed. She's gaining altitude. I don't need that. I need to be on a deck, low level, 0 altitude. Route flying. Now it's okay. She's stabilized. Watch for villages. Airfields, that's an airfield, very convenient. That's Safronov, Нижний Яблочный airfield, so Нижний Яблочный is gonna be on my left. My probe's gonna be green because of that forest leaves. That airfields are very, very good terrain features, landmarks. Very good, visible. That's what I call low-level flying, just on the deck. So I'm on 2015.6. Next terrain feature is gonna be Chilekov village. I need to jump a bit, 5 inches, pull up, and the sign for windman. I've got no windman, so but that's a good habit to make some how you say it in English, to prepare him for maneuver. And if I gonna see the gap, I gonna make it through the trees without jumping. Okay, I'm making it another road. Now I gonna make back to 090 heading. ground surface altitude isn't constant, so ground surface altitude is increasing, so I need to gain altitude also, or I gonna crash. That's very interesting, not very easy, that's very hard, but very interesting. In a good game with such low level deck flying, you're gonna have advantages of stealthy. It's gonna be very hard to see you. It's gonna be very hard to hear you. They listen for enemy aircrafts, any aerial targets. You can listen for that. But in this game, neither sound is realistic, neither visibility is realistic. Well, thank you very much, developers. Those guys, those poor devils, free hunters, fighter pilots, players, who like to climb 5-6 kilometers and watch the prey. This game isn't only for them. Visibility should be realistic. Now visibility is too high. That's unacceptable. I don't play DCS, but if DCS has got poor visibility, that's good. That's a big advantage of DCS. And the biggest disadvantage, not biggest, but very big disadvantage of great battles, IL-2 great battles, is unrealistically good visibility. Now ground level altitude is reducing and I need to dive a bit. -5 inches, nose down and back. I reduce engine power not to let her accelerate while losing altitude, and I increase engine power not to let her slow down when climbing a bit. That's the technique of low level flying. You maintain your airplane stabilized, which is very convenient. Jump a bit, 5 inches, pull up. When you see your nose not pitching up and not pitching down, that's railroad ways and some, that's Chilekov. Just as I said, that was Chilekov village. So I gonna have that road junction on my 11. I need to watch for that. That's a very good terrain feature which allows you to know where you are exactly. That road junction and even road crossroad, T-junction crossroads that's low level. is on my 11. You can see by the 3 lines it's over there. I'm not able to see the road itself, but I'm able to see 3 lines. Road 3 lines. And now you can see the road. I will not be able to see, to have visual on that, jumping a bit, on that crossroads, road junction, but, or maybe I will, but I gonna see that trees, 3-line junction. And by the way, those Stalingrad and Volgograd plains, landscape, I have a big doubts. They've got a lot of trees on the roads. Probably that's not realistic also. I can understand why developers put those trees over on the roads. It makes strafing more complicated and makes the roads looking a little bit better, but you wouldn't see so much trees on that Volgograd Don plains even today, and in the middle of 20th century there wasn't so much trees on the roadsides. So where I am 2020.4. On the next road, when I pass next road, I gonna turn left. That's too high. I need to dive a little bit. Let's dive. -5 inches. Manifold pressure, nose down a bit. If her nose doesn't pitch up or pitch down, your airspeed is okay. If P-40 pitches her nose down, you've got less airspeed than you need with such trim settings, and if she pitch up, you've got more airspeed than you need. So even not looking on your airspeed indicator, you know if your airplane is stabilized or not stabilized. Once again, that's not a sea. Ground level altitude is always changing. That's Zhutov village very well. So I need to wait just a bit, and then maybe I need to turn left already. Let's turn left on new heading 000. A little bit extra power, not so much. This is the road from Zhutovo. I'm gonna see another road junction on my 1 o'clock soon. I perform low-level route flying to stay stealthy that's convenient, that's effective to return to base route, for return to base route. And some guys, once again, you watch streams and guys who fly, who lead the group, or Staffel, like German said, they are very experienced, they are good leaders, but once they egressing from target to base, they fly 100 meters, 200 meters. Why not climbing? If you need altitude, climb. But if you don't need altitude, do not fly 100 meters. That's, if I gonna hunt for you, that's exactly what I gonna need, because that's gonna be very convenient for me to see you on sky, how you say it, skyline. But if you on a level, on a deck level, on a low level, in a realistic aviation simulator with a good realism in terms of visibility, it would be very hard to see you. Once again, I know this game has got unrealistic visibility conditions, settings. That's very bad, but what can we do with that? Okay, I probably somewhere 19 to 1.5. Next terrain feature is gonna be that railroad station and railroad crossroads. Railroad crossing. That terrain feature is gonna allow me to find where I am. Then I'm gonna need to perform landing approach pattern. Jumping a little bit, plus 5 inches manifold pressure, pull up and throttle back and pull down, throttle up. I should level up earlier than throttling back. So I can see that the tree line, probably that's a railroad. I need to jump a little bit more. No visual there. Oh. Once again, I made that mistake. No visual on rails. I probably missed that. I overlooked that terrain feature. So where I am, I don't know where I am. Probably 1820.5.8. That's where I am. No, this is a railroad. Yes, I know. Kakpinka town's gonna be on my left. Here it is. Now I know where I am. I'm over some 1722.4. Okay, let's start climbing. Plus 5% elevator trim. RPM up 72%. Rudder trim switch to standard. Elevator trim 0. Plus 5%. Wait until she's pitching nose down. Plus 5%. She's pitching a bit up and pitching down. Plus 5%. Wait until she's pitching nose down. Plus 5%. And a little bit more. Techno shut off. Power up 27.5 inches. 27 inches. She's stabilized, more or less stabilized. That's Kakpinka. I'm 1622.1. There's gonna be T-junction underneath me. Manifold pressure corrections a little bit. 27.2.3. Stabilized. Okay. My next I'm gonna need to next I'm gonna need to make normal good landing. Okay. Transition into straight and level flight minus 10%. RPM down to 43 technichat. Normal standard rudder plus one elevator trim. She's climbing up. Minus 5%. Wait until she's pitching up. Minus 5%. I've got no fuel in my rear tank, minus 5%. So now airplane's behavior is different. She's not pitching up so intense. Techno shut off. Throttle back. I'm a little bit too high. I've been talking about landing approach. I'm gonna move on that straight on 500 meters altitude. Then I'm gonna perform standard overhead pattern, which gonna get me to the point when I gonna start transition into wheels down, flaps down, descending. And if I gonna do everything right, I gonna descend right to the edge of runway, landing runway, and I'm gonna perform a good landing. So for that, first of all, I need to get myself on that approach straight. There's gonna be initial overhead pattern, initial point over the edge on altitude 1800 feet. I'm a little bit higher than I need. And I gonna need to pass that point having with heading 275. That's also technique which gonna be useful for group flying. But that technique itself is very interesting for me. I like to perform that. First of all, that's Zeti airfield. I'm right here. I need to be over there moving 000 heading. So now I'm turning right 45 degree. So the new heading is 045. Standard 15 degree bank angle turn. Because I need to get into this point or even into this point. So that approach straight should be quite long. Because you're gonna need to make small corrections on that approach straight. Good terrain feature, village Верхнецарицынский. I know I am somewhere 1.5 to 1.9 or maybe 1.4 to 2.1. I'm too close, I'm turning east more because I'm too close. I'm losing altitude, that's okay with me because 2000 feet is too much, 2000 feet is too much. Oh no, maybe not too much. My airfield's got 300 feet altitude, so that was okay actually. So next turn I gonna gain some altitude a little bit, so I gonna make a little bit more extra power that I always add. This T-junction crossroads is gonna be good visual reference, good terrain feature to start my left 90 degree turn to get myself into this straight. I call that area is getting into approach straight area. First I gonna need to get into this area. So this area is the end of my route flying. And next gonna start landing procedure and brake pattern procedure for group. I'm a single airplane. I do not fly in group, so for me it's a good approach pattern, and for group it's gonna be approach pattern and brake pattern. Once again, when you watch other guys streamings flying in formation and groups, they do not have any techniques, any tactics of those brake patterns, most of them. Some guys consider they have, but to be frank, they do not. So they perform very beautiful formation, close formation or column landing, which isn't realistic because it's too dangerous. The next plane need to start landing only after previous plane get himself out from landing runway. So you need to have at least 30 seconds intervals, 30 seconds timing delays between your airplanes while landing. Now I can see that T-junction, which I called a very good reference terrain feature. I can see it, so I can assess I can choose the right timing when I need to start my turn, and I can see even my airfield very far away and even my landing strip. Okay, let's say little bit and start turning. Excessive power, some extra manifold pressure to gain some altitude, because normal overhead brake pattern altitude is 16.5 100 feet, and I've got 300 feet airfield altitude, so I need to have 19.5 altitude, plus minus 150 feet. You don't need to have it precise. After I turn 270, okay, altitude is okay. Can I see any airfield ahead of me? No. Where is my airfield? It's behind I can see my airfield. I need to shift right very much. So for adjusting my approach rate, I use correction with turning with very low bank angle, not more than 5-degree bank angle. That's important for formation flying once again. Okay, altitude is fine. P-40 is more or less stabilized. Approach straight is fine. That's Трудовой поселок number 3, small village. Very good terrain feature. Buzinovka, very good terrain feature. River junction, bridges. Okay, my landing heading is gonna be 275. That's a landing strip heading. Okay, a little bit more 290 heading, and I'm gonna turn left with the same small bank angle, 3-4 degrees, not more than 5 degrees bank angle. And when that landing runway edge gonna be on my wing edge, left wing edge, that's gonna be initial point of my overhead brake pattern. But I like to pick up right timing, so it's gonna be either 0 or 5 seconds timing. So I'm gonna need to make some corrections. That's gonna be 15 seconds. 15 seconds exactly. That 15 seconds timing you need to, for once again for formation flying, cause second guy in group gonna start his left turn 15 seconds later, and on opposite heading I gonna have 7 seconds shifting, so I gonna level up and fly straight in level 7 seconds, then make another 90-degree left turn and start landing procedure, start transitioning into stabilized descent with landing gear down and flaps down. And second guy gonna start initial left turning 15 seconds later, and he's gonna have opposite course, opposite heading delay or shifting, not 7 seconds but 7 seconds plus 15 seconds, 22 seconds. And by that technique you're gonna have your two airplanes landing with exactly 30 seconds interval. That's safe, that's great group flying tactics. I overturned a bit. Okay, 7 seconds, and I continue with turning left. That's very complicated to explain. You need to see the pictures, the graphics to understand that. I watch airfield, I watch airstrip. I must say my range is okay, maybe a little bit too far, but with low fuel P-40 to be too far, a little bit too far is okay, because my glissade's gonna be a little bit shallower. Okay, technochat on 0005, gear down, throttle back, RPM maximum, elevator trim 90%, start turning a bit, rudder trim 22, elevator trim 12, left wing, turning. Oh, that was my mistake. I did that transition very bad. Okay, I didn't watch my vertical speed, so that's why I think I'm too low, but let's see. Yes, probably I'm too low. That's because I've lost some altitude. By adjusting throttle you can change your final approach a bit, make it more shallower, so you're not gonna overshoot. I think I'm overshooting. No, I'm okay. I'm okay right now. That's gonna be a good landing. Throttle back a bit. She's stabilized. Now I'm overshooting, I think. No, I'm okay. I gonna land. Yes, I'm overshooting a bit. I should throttle back earlier. No, I'm not overshooting. That's a good approach, good landing. Okay, I'm landing. No second circle. Very bad landing, very bad touchdown. I didn't play P-40 about 3 weeks. That's a lack of operational readiness, how I call it. Thanks God I didn't have circle on a landing run. I need to practice a little bit more. Okay, 1500 RPM high velocity taxiing. Unfortunately I've got short landing strip, so I'm already in the end. Well, very bad landing, very bad touchdown. I didn't like it at all, but I had no practice. I need to practice more. That's lack of operational readiness, lack of skills. Some players has got no skills at all, and some players lose those skills because of lack of practicing. I need to practice more. Now I gonna perform taxi to my parking place. Now I'm taxiing with neutral trims, a little bit different taxiing. I perform taxi as turning taxiing without using any brakes. With P-40 that's, for me it's easy. With some other airplanes maybe it's even impossible, but maybe very hard. For example, Mosquito differential power taxiing is very hard for me for now without using brakes. But that's very good skill to know your airplane, not to be bored with that part of your mission, with that stage of your mission. That's also interesting part of the game, not only maneuvering and dogfighting, not only good gunnery, but also straight and level flight. That's a circle attempt. That was a circle attempt. Because of that, that was my mistake. Because of that attempt, I shifted left. Another circle attempt. So if I had some equipment over there, or people, or another airplane, I would need to apply brakes, and on this, in these dry conditions, ground, sandy and grassy surface, that would be okay. But if that surface would be wet after rain, if it would be muddy, if it would be slippery, if it would be snowy or icy, that brakes applying would cause me more violent circling. So if you've got skills of S-turning taxiing without using brakes, that's good for you. You can exploit that skills to have a good gaming. That's not boring at all. And when you, once again, when you watch somebody streaming, let's say anybody streaming, and they perform taxiing with fully applied brakes, that's unrealistic, because developers didn't put wheels blocking in this game. In real life you're gonna have blocked wheels, and because of that blocked wheels you're gonna damage your tire surface, you're gonna have violent circle, you're gonna have reliability problems with your wheel legs, undercarriage. In some cases then you're gonna have AAA damages on your strafing, and that undercarriage would crack while landing, and you're gonna lose your airplane, you're gonna die. So that absence of blocking wheels is unrealistic in this game. I don't want to argue with developers. They've got a great taxiing physics, different surfaces, different airplanes behave differently on the same surface. That's very interesting. So that's a job well done for developers, but they should add those wheels blocking feature. Without that, when you watch somebody stream and they taxiing with fully applied brakes and without wheels blocked, that's unrealistic. Then you're gonna write on forum on Discord, guys, let's turn Technochat on, and they gonna have toxic, unpleasant comments about you, about your skills or absence of your skills. But reality is quite different. Okay, that was a very good mission. Thanks for historical HAW Training Server. P-40 is available, good ground targets is available. Thank you, that's all. Maybe I'm gonna have another stream later, maybe not. I don't know, maybe on Mosquito, maybe with some Russian guys later in the evening. Maybe it's gonna be Berloga action. And tomorrow probably I'm gonna need to repeat that P-40 combat strafing mission. While we have that historical HAW training available, I need to use my chances. Okay, thank you. That's all.